What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a very explosive duel for you guys to check out. We got some Utopia action. Actually, this is Utopia featuring Pendulum Magicians, which is a new concept to me. However, I think it's pretty easy to understand why it works. Utopia used to be incredibly potent under Master Rule 3 because as long as you had discard Exceed Change Tactics, you generally were going to draw a minimum of 5 cards during that turn just from Exceed Summoning with this card alone. Sometimes you could draw even like 6 cards or more. The card was absolutely amazing. It's still pretty good now. The thing is, excuse me, now that there's Master Rule 4, you do have to have Link monsters, and this is where the Pendulum Magicians come in. A lot of the Pendulum Magicians are level 4, especially like a lot of the new Zark Magicians, and then you also get Electromite to open up those zones, and you get the Pendulum Summon as well. So I think Pendulum Magicians definitely make sense, and you can see how he's going to be able to just make an incredibly good board. Also, get Dark Worm on field. You're able to get to Electromite without even really needing that normal summon, which is just really nice. Although, I believe he did normal summon right there. You guys know Electromite a lot of times is summoned without the normal summon, but it's all good. He's going to Pendulum Summon 4, and that is really good. Now here's where the explosive part can start happening. Now keep in mind, Star Drawing will let him draw a card when he exceeds with it, even before before the effect of Exceed Change Tactics even activates. So potentially he could draw 7 cards this turn, which, I mean, I don't know anybody who draws 7 cards in a turn and loses the duel, but there's a first time for everything, I guess. You see he has 0 cards in hand. Just look at his hand and watch how it explodes. It's gonna be incredibly big. And he probably, because he did draw the rank up Baryon Force, he probably is going to go for Utopic Zexal, which makes a whole lot of sense. You could play Numeron Force, which I think is better than Baryon's Force. It's kind of like the real version, or the full potential version of Baryon's Force, according to the anime anyways. But obviously you can see he has kind of that shock lock effect, and man, people don't realize Utopia the Lightning is really good against Ultrageist. They cannot use Konkori at all against it. Also, it's not something that they can negate with like Protocol. You run over their Miluseek, it's not going to activate. They can't use Link Karibo. Basically, all they can kind of do is just bounce it and hope that that works, you know, with the copies of Sequidius. But he is going to be shock locked, and that means he's not going to have a Sequidius active. Now, personally, I probably would have summoned my Sequidius and tried to tag it back into the deck with Personal Spoofing. I don't know if I would have used the Solemn here, but he needs to get something off the field, I guess. Honestly, it didn't even matter whether you think he made a mistake or not, because he had the Impermanence, and even though he can tag from his deck, well, this is why he probably should have summoned this card, not set it, is because if he would have summoned Miluseek now, he's going to summon Miluseek off of the Multi-Faker. He would be able to use his Sequidius right now to potentially bounce this, and then maybe he could stall with Konkori, so that would be his win condition. It would be rough, but it maybe is possible. But anyways, that didn't happen. His opponent says, you know what, man, Cap, I drew like 5 cards last turn. How about we go for 8 cards? Actually, no, he drew 6 because of the Star Drawing. And now he's going to get 3 more draws, and you know that this is pretty much a wrap. Keep in mind, not only does he have another Impermanence, but he has another turn of Shock Lock. Well, actually, 3 more turns of Shock Lock because of the Utopic Zexal. And, yeah, I guess he didn't even kill him that turn, but he knows that this duel is basically over. I can't really see him being able to do anything. Konkori, excellent card, but it's not good against this card specifically. If there's one card in Yu-Gi-Oh that kind of cucks Konkori, Utopia the Lightning is definitely that card, or any card that has that Armades like effect to lock out battle phase. So let me just pause for one quick second. Let me show you guys what the Pendulum Utopia is looking like. Alright, so here's what the deck looks like on paper. I like the simplicity here. You see that almost every single monster in the entire deck is like level 4. I told you guys a lot of the new Zark Magicians are indeed actually level 4, so it just makes things a little easier. Plus, you use the same monsters to go into Electromite as you do to go into Utopia, so it makes things a little simpler. He is actually running Numeron Force as well. I mean, I just don't see any real reason to go into Baryon Force and not play like Numeron Force. Numeron Force is just objectively a much better card. Not running, oh no, he is actually, I was thinking he wasn't running any of the high level Utopia Exceed monsters, but he is. He's actually running the Utopic Dragon, which I love. I did not expect to see that card in here. If you guys don't know what this does, you summon it the same same way as Utopic Zexal? I guess all the Utopic cards are basically summoned the same way. No, I think that there is F-Zero a Utopic monster? Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm gonna get back on topic though. You discard a rank up card to summon this, and this one can actually summon a Utopia monster from your graveyard. I think it has to go in defense position, but usually what you do is just summon like a regular Utopia, and then you rank up the Utopia inherently into Utopia the Lightning. This is so cool because you guys cannot tell me this is not a Utopia deck. Like, look at this extra deck. There is one Link monster in here. Well, my goodness, we got one Link monster, and then everything else is just copies of basically Utopia or Xyz monsters. This was one of the Utopia monsters that I ran, the Utopia Ray 5, but I think you should also run, I think there's another one, I don't know if it's like Utopia, I think it's Utopia Victory. It's another like rank 5 Utopia. I forget exactly what it does off the top of my head. I know some people don't run it because Utopia takes up like so much fucking space, as you can see here, but it generally, I think he has 14 cards, so you can just kind of run that extra card. And I don't know, I've always thought Utopia is still, a very fun and what's the word I'm looking for, gratifying deck to play.